Hey everyone, good afternoon. Hello, hello. Having a coffee. I'm still in Georgie's place in Riyadh. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to uh, fly the third leg of the seventh travel that I'm supposed to have for my strategic management role in the company. I'm supposed to go to Sakaka via Al Juf in Al Juf Regional Airport, but wasn't able to board the plane. I was late. Uh, so there's few unfortunate events recently happened. One was that, and then I have to get in touch with a travel agency. I spoke with the airline first, and then they have advised me that I should be getting in touch with a travel agency so I can have my flight rebooked. Those flights were booked through a multi-destination, I think, booking. It only has one ticket reservation number. And if one of those flights is canceled, then the rest of the succeeding flights after that will also be canceled. That's what happened. So it's kind of tedious. I need to call the Saudi Airlines and get in touch with the travel agency. Hi, Ati Buging. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. There. So thank you for those who have subscribed to my channel. I'm starting this kind of fun. I'm not supposed to open up a channel in YouTube, but it's kind of fun. So one of my friends, Joji, shout out to you, and Atibea Victor, have encouraged me to, both of them have encouraged me to create a channel. And I'd like to thank everyone and all who has subscribed to my YouTube channel. So there's more of it. I've asked you to, have some comments or give me suggestions on what you want to hear from my YouTube channel. I'm trying to discuss things with you or talk about with you. What I know, this is what I know. I'm not a migration officer. I don't have any affiliation with any migration services or consultancy. I just want to help people if they really would like to go to countries like Canada or Australia. I had an extensive research on how you can go ahead and process your paper or application by yourself. It's a do-it-yourself way of processing application. There's so many ways on how you can go to Canada or Australia for that matter. But just so you know that these countries nowadays, because of the pandemic, they're not open yet. So maybe you can go ahead and check their websites, the Immigration to Canada and Australia, their websites as to when they're going to be opening. But there are a few news. There are news right now saying that Canada Immigration has released an information that it's going to open its country for 1.2 million immigrants, aspiring immigrants. So they have several immigration programs. They have the express entry. They have the provincial nomination program. They have the pilot. They have the regional pilot programs. They have the Yukon. They have the tech and all those sort of immigration pathways. In Australia, Australia's kind of a bit different because Australia is kind of decreasing the numbers of immigrants that they can accommodate to come over to Australia. So as for my research, it's 50% decrease from the previous allocations of occupation that they are eyeing to welcome immigrants to Australia. Yeah, so if you have any questions, if you do have any questions regarding migration or how to go to Canada or how to go to Australia, yes, I'd be more than willing to answer all of those. Yes. I just want to help. I just want to help. Because you can, actually, you can. All you have to do is to put your best effort. Because hindi naman pwede na, tawag nito, mangarap na lang tayo ng mangarap, pupunta ng Canada, pupunta ng Australia, and then you're not doing anything at all. What's important in these countries, actually, there are two, well, I'm just gonna give you the basic understanding of how the immigration pathways in both countries would work. So, una muna tayo dun sa Australia. Australia, medyo madugo sa Australia. Just to be honest with you, Australian immigration is not that easy to apply. Yung sinasabi nating PR, Permanent Residency Program of Australia, is not so very easy to apply. Same with Canada. They're following a point system. So they have in their website, Homeland Immigration Australia, they have a point system scoring according to your education, according to your number of work experience, your connections in Australia, your language proficiency, and well, there are regions there are state in Australia, they call it state. In Canada, they call it provincials or provinces. So there are state in Australia that would require you to have a fund before they can, give you an invitation. So the PR, the permanent residency application in both countries would require you to have an invitation first. No, to answer your question, I'm not going to Australia. I just know the process on how to apply for a permanent residency to Australia. Yes. So there, balik tayo sa Australia ha. Ganitong ginagawa ng Australia, ganitong PR, permanent residency to Australia application. So, point system, it's a point system. So, there in the website Homeland Immigration Australia, they have a points calculator. So there's a tab, a points calculator tab in Homeland Immigration website for Australia. So you get to know, you have an idea of what points, how many points can you get based on, you really have to assess first yourself if you do qualify. The minimum requirement for you to be able to lodge an expression of interest, because you cannot be given an invitation if you don't have an expression of interest. So the expression of interest would require you to have at least 60 points according to the number of factors. The factors that I've mentioned a moment ago, these are your educational achievement, your connection to Australia, your language, your work experience, and the skills. Of a highly relevant position, you have to have an experience of 5 years, at least. Now, since 5 years ka, tapos pinasa mo yung assessment mo sa Vet Assess, but Vet Assess declined it. It may be declined simply because Vet Assess would minus it 1 year. So 5 minus 1, 4 years. So it falls down. It falls from the category. It falls from the requirement. It has to be at least 5 years. So hindi ka na pumasa. The safest number of years for work experience in lieu of a not highly relevant education qualification is 6 years. Because 6 minus 1 is 5. So pasok ka na sa banga. Gateway talaga sa Australia ang assessment, your skill assessment. They will never allow you to lodge an expression of interest if your skill assessment has a negative output from an assessing body. For engineers, they have an engineering assessing body. For nurses, they have a nursing assessing body. For technicals, they have a technical assessing. For managers, they also have manager assessing body. It's kind of different. It differs according to the skills na meron ka. So just be observant about those things. One thing for sure, Australian immigration, PR application for Australia is doable naman. Very doable. Hindi siya mahirap. Hindi siya mahirap. There. Yun lang. So, I'm constantly updating myself with the updates from the immigration to Australia. They're still not open right as of this time. They're open only for partners, and with exceptions due to the pandemic. So there. The processing time, it depends. It varies. Mas mabilis ang PR application sa Australia versus Canada. Canada would take 8 to 12 months. Streamline na yun ha. Mabilis ang proseso na yun. But for Australia, it's just gonna take you 6 to 8 months. Has been rumors that they will start opening the borders for permanent residency application. They will resume by the end of South Australia and Adelaide. They will resume PR application by the end of November. New South Wales, where Sydney, Australia is, they're gonna open the borders by December. I think Victoria is gonna open the borders on January. So that's the latest, the immigration news as far as I've read. So if you are trying to, if you are having this dream of going to Australia, it's easy. The process is easy. It's just a matter of submitting the right documents that's required from you. No dishonesty. Just fill in the right information. Do not overclaim points, because you have a choice to move or progress your PR application via do it yourself or having a consultant to assist you in the immigration process, kasi it's better. But yung pagkakaiba nila, maggagastos ka talaga. Mahal na nga yung visa application ng Australia, so gagastos ka pa ng consultancy. Well, it's up to you. If you have naman the resources, why not? So it's easy na may mga tanong ka na gusto mo talaga yung immigration lawyers ang magbibigay sa'yo ng kasagutan, then that's fine. Alright, that's it for today. Magbibigay ako ng additional tips for Australia sa mga next video ko. And then, we'll progress with Canada as well. Medyo step by step na lang muna natin. And I'm gonna include also pointers and tips on how you can get maximum scores on your language proficiency exam or language tests, which is very necessary sa mga permanent residency application. If you're thinking that IELTS is difficult, no, IELTS is not difficult. You just have to apply the right amount of skills. They call it the IELTS skills. It is doable, I tell you. You don't have to be afraid for this English proficiency test, because it's doable. I tell you, it's doable. It's doable. So much for today. Thank you very much. Please do consider subscribing to my YouTube channel para naman tuloy-tuloy yung ating discussions about these relevant things, helpful knowledge. Pwede ako mag-assist sa inyo mga questions about it. Okay, buyers. Bye!